Hi, and welcome back to yet another episode of the MobiChef Mukbang. I'm your host, Chester Smith, and today we have a special treat for you guys, literally. My guest is a queen of desserts, if you want to call it that, or as she refers to herself, the Dessert Davinci. Now, let me just tell you a little bit more about Miss Tasha Mack here, all right? So we're going to dive deep into the sweet side of her life, other than, this Atlanta native and her culinary powerhouse skills that she has as a chef. She's a 12-time award-winning baker, 3-time International Food Network champion. Y'all don't hear me. She's a food competition judge and a published author. She has baked her way into the hearts and homes and into history, guys. Her desserts don't just taste incredible, which we are going to find out. They tell stories. She heals hearts and celebrate culture. Today, she shares her journey, her flavors, and the experiences. Let's welcome to the one and only Dessert Davinci, Miss Tasha Mack. Tasha, how's it going?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. First off, before we get into anything, I got an icebreaker. I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Does sugar or salt go in grits?
Salt.
Okay. So thank you. Welcome. I ain't have to kick you off the show. You get it, right? And so for those of you out there watching and listening right now, mukbang is just we're about to get into that. We're about to get into some food here, but mukbang is just a really fancy word to me for crunching on some food, having a good time, and slurping on some drinks, right? But the other part of that is the community side of what it creates, the culture, and the environment that it creates. So you out there, we want to invite you in and listening and hearing. We want to invite you into this, and let's just get to it. I smell this food. I've been smelling it. Chef Izo hooked up some stuff. Chef Izo, what are you cooking up for us?
You already know what I'm cooking up for you, Chester and Miss Tasha Mack. Listen, we have these great succulent ribeye steaks right here. I heard that was one of your favorite, Miss Tasha Mack. I heard it was one of your favorite, so I got you. So I trimmed them up, uniformed them out for you to get a nice even sear on them. But let me tell y'all a big secret, right? You take lemon zest with your salt and pepper mix. Cause that's all good meat need. It's some good salt and pepper. That's it. You ain't gotta do too much with it. You take some lemon zest and lemon juice or some lime juice, whichever you're choosing. Put that on it. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Now do you feel me? All right. So we're gonna set that off, and then I'm gonna take just a nice garlic and herb butter. Or you can use a butter of your choice. Doesn't matter. Any compound butter would do. But I like compound butters the best. And we're gonna baste these steaks. I have some nice shallots here. Garlic still in the shell. Rosemary that I picked from a garden. I ain't gonna tell y'all which one. Might go to jail for that one. But yeah. So we're gonna have them steaks basting in that butter. And can you just imagine, right? Imagine that nice creaminess from the butter basting all over that steak. Come on now. Does it get any better than that? You already know it doesn't. All right. So what you need to do is come on over to MobiChefOfficial.com and book. All right.
Awesome, man. Hey, look, I know we're not going to tell the secret about where you got your ingredients from. I'm not a snitch, but if they hold my foot to the flame, hey, man, I'm sorry. But let's dig in. You ready to dig in?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Let's give it a shot, man. We got some, what is this, ribeye, I think? Ribeye?
Steak.
Yeah, this is a ribeye. Let's give it a shot. Tell me what you think.
See if we need the sauce or no sauce.
What you tasting?
Seasoning.
Seasoning out the gate, huh? Okay. I like that. What else? You got any flavors that you want to call out on there? Just a good steak, ain't it?
Long as
It's
it's
just a good
seasoned.
steak.
Yeah.
No seasoning. No seasoning. Mashed potatoes are good. I can tell they're fresh. He threw up a tomato on here. I wonder why.
Color.
But I'm gonna eat it. Color. You said color. Okay. Good deal. So, steak is your thing, right? You told me that. You mentioned that to me. So we wanted to make sure we had what you wanted on here today on the show.
Thank you.
Are you impressed? Did we do well?
You did well.
Did Chef Izo do his thing?
Yep.
Chef Izo, you got it, brother. But We also have some drinks prepared for us today. You ready to get into those?
Okay.
Let's try them out. Let's see what's going on here. All right.
Kool-Aid, if you will.
Kool-Aid? Well, mine's
Kool-Aid.
a gentleman's drink, as always.
Let's see.
And it's right on time.
Oh, okay.
What are you tasting in there? What's your flavors?
Pineapple,
Okay.
the taste of summer.
Okay. What else you got?
Vodka, of course.
Some vodka.
White. Yes, I'm a white
Some
girl.
vodka. Okay. Surprise. Threw a little passion fruit in there too.
Okay,
With that.
okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
You're welcome. All right. Good deal. So now you get a chance. This is the part where you actually name your drink. What are you going to name it?
A summer breeze.
Ooh.
That'll
Summer
work
breeze.
for me. Yeah.
Why summer breeze?
Well, the fruit.
Does it make you feel fine?
Yeah, the fruit. I'm on the beach.
Indeed.
On the beach with a steak.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Well, there you have it. Summer breeze. Chef Tasha Mack. That's her drink. It's in the books. All right. So we're going to get into this, man. I want to ask you, like, where did you want to start? What made you start, like, I guess, want to start cooking? Talk to me about little Tasha or big Tasha whenever you decided that you wanted to become a chef. And then yet even deeper or further, a pastry chef.
Well, it wasn't in the kitchen. I didn't start in the kitchen. My resume was kind of all over the place.
Gotcha.
My first degree was in cosmetology.
Okay.
I went from cosmetology to accounting to the military to the kitchen.
Military, you serve.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, not long.
Understood.
Yeah,
I understand.
that's a story for another day.
That's okay.
But not
What
long.
branch?
Army.
Okay, good deal.
Your cousins.
Okay, understood.
And then we found our way back to the kitchen from just playing with my friends. They would do parties and events, and since I like to make stuff, and I was surprisingly the only friend out the group that could cook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, all y'all pretty faces is useless. Just useless. I'm like, but I would always be like, oh, I'll do the desserts, or I'll do the table, I'll do the food, the sides.
So this wasn't like I had an easy bake oven at 5 years old.
I had
type thing.
one.
Yeah. So it didn't start back then. Though. Yeah.
Because we had a family baker, so everybody just left it to her.
What?
And I was just there to eat the cake. My mom would make dessert on Sunday, but it wasn't something like we did together. There was no nostalgia.
Gotcha.
It was just, is the food ready? I'm finna eat it.
So what was the switch that said, I want to make money doing this?
Well, what did I make? One of my friends' baby showers. They had like a baseball theme, and I did the whole table, and somebody said, why isn't this a career? Why aren't you selling this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I never thought I could. Never hear anybody talking about it, or it was a whole nother side I didn't know about.
Ah.
Yeah.
So somebody opened you up to it.
Yeah. So they was like, why don't you start selling this? So a chef in Atlanta that we would get plates from, I took him some cheesecake stuffed strawberries.
Wait a minute. You ain't finna get past me on that one. You say what?
It was strawberry shortcake, cheesecake stuffed strawberries.
So it's a cheesecake.
Yeah, it was cheesecake filling stuff. We gut the strawberry, fill it with cheesecake and toppings like the strawberry shortcake crunch and white chocolate.
You talking my language.
And I took him those, and he shared it on social media, and that was the birth of Sugar High.
Get out of here.
And I'm like, people like, I want to buy this, and I'm like, it ain't for sale. I guess it is now. Welcome.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So how have things been going now? Bring us up to speed.
Well, it's good now.
I mean, of course, we saw the awards, the accolades.
Yeah.
You were on TV as well, right? Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that.
Well, we've done Netflix Sugar Rush Christmas, season 1 for that. So that's where I started. That was my first show before Food Network.
Okay.
And then we got the call from Food Network Canada the second time.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So
then
you were up in Canada, man?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. And it was Canada during COVID.
Did you meet Drake?
So it was a nightmare. No, we couldn't even leave the hotel rooms.
Because you said
It was during COVID. So we were stuck in the hotel room for 2 weeks before we could even film.
So you had to quarantine.
Yeah, we had to
before you could get out
quarantine.
there.
Yeah, because
Understand.
they were strict.
Okay. I mean, I think everybody was when it came down to COVID because it was so devastating,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it was a vacation for me.
Yeah.
Because they paid us to come and paid us to stay.
You getting paid, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
I was like, it's just me and the TV, but that's fine.
Room service.
Exactly.
Order whatever you want. Man.
For free.
Is that what we would consider a good old days?
Yeah.
You gonna call it the good old days? Like, oh man, back in my day or back in the good old days, man, I could sit in my room and just order food service.
I was like, y'all gonna run that back? That pandemic back?
So as an entrepreneur at those times, even up until your Food Network appearances and your Sugar Rush appearances, what challenges did you face even getting into the industry, and what did you realize as an entrepreneur in the journey that you had just embarked on?
Well, for one, promotion and getting clientele. Because like
like marketing yourself? Or?
Yes, because I mean, social media had just started. Instagram was still new.
Okay.
And then I didn't know how to run a business. So what I do, after he shared the post and people started contacting me about, can I get this, can I get that? Pricing, you didn't know how to price. You didn't know where to source the ingredients, supplies, or anything. So your local grocery store was just where you went.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I didn't know how to price, so everything was $50. So $40 and $50. So I'm pretty sure
That's
I was
what you would charge them?
paying them to make them a cake. So of course, I mean, that's a mistake we all make because we don't know. We just feel like, oh, she paying me to do this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So with that came classes and knowledge and investing in yourself. If I'm gonna start a business, I need to learn.
Right.
And I made sure I invested a lot of money and time into my skill set.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs out there, that are just starting out, some people don't have that direction or even the initiative or the mindset to say, you know what, I need help. Some are just too prideful. Some just, they say, I'll figure it out along the way, and they just fail their way to success. That's part of me. I did that. But I also realized that, you know what, I actually do need help. I need to learn from some people. The people that got what I want, I need to stop and take that in, ask them for mentorship, or even just watch them. I became very observant. So I had a struggle. I failed my way into success, and now I'm a subject matter expert. So things for me is more so the friends that watched me fail. Now they're calling me, asking me for advice.
Yep.
All right. So you understand that, right? So I'm pretty sure your friends reach out to you because of what you're doing and your level of success. And so I'm okay to be the subject matter expert there. I do have aspirations to grow that, exponentially. But for now, I'll take the phone calls from the friends and family. All right. So just getting into that, you talked about your journey, the challenges of being an entrepreneur. What about now? How does the outlook look for you? How does it look for you now? What are the next 5 years looking like for you?
Well, surprisingly, I'm actually thinking about a store.
Brick and mortar style.
Yeah, and that was the goal starting off. That was the goal. I was like, we're going to go get a bakery. We're going to just sell dessert, and that's going to be that. And it made a complete left. It made a hard 90-degree turn to TV. Because I was like, I'm the last person that like to talk, the last person that like to be on camera, the last person that's going to be front of the house, anything. I've always been a back of the house girl. Okay. So I was like, I'm not, what? You want to do what and talk what? So it took a turn, and I'm like, okay, now I need to try to, now that I definitely have the resources, the people, the connections that this 10 years has got me, I definitely think now I can get into that store and rock it.
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. You told us about that, the challenges you faced. With you have a family. You mentioned that to me. How do they feel about what you do?
Well, it was stressful.
Okay.
Because, I mean,
how was it stressful? Working
from home is, the work-life balance is not there. It's not there. So, of course, everything takes a back seat to the business.
Okay.
And it was expressed to me by my family. So I had to definitely hire people and get resources and help to help me do things. And of course, it took me away from home, all the traveling. Most of the year I wasn't there, missing out on things. So I had to make sure that I scheduled a family vacation or things to include them, or come with me, come see how it's done, come watch.
Yeah.
that kind of thing to make sure that they didn't
I
feel
like
left
that.
out.
I like that you include your family in that.
But at first it was, where is she? She's gone. And I'm like, I'm trying to create a footprint so y'all can see that you don't have to go to college or take a traditional way to be
you showing that
successful.
pathway. You're a
I was like,
trailblazer.
you can do what you want to do. You ain't
Yes.
got to go straight to school after high school. And
Okay, I get that. So let's talk about your philosophy, your passion, things like that, right? I mentioned we already talked about your journey. Who did you follow? Who did you see, or who mentored you? Because you mentioned education and learning. Who taught you to kind of hone your skills as an entrepreneur and even as a baker or
it
pastry
was
chef?
two people in particular.
Mhm.
It was Portia Kimball.
Okay.
She was known as Your Cake Diva
Okay.
in the beginning. That was one of the first classes I took.
Shout out to Your Cake Diva. Is
Yes.
she still out there?
Hey P, she is.
Okay.
And Cake King, Jeremy Jones.
Okay.
They were actually best
Shout out
friends.
Jeremy Jones. We see you too.
Yeah, they were best friends, and I actually was like, we're going on a journey with both of them. We learning everything they have to
Yeah.
teach. So every cake retreat she had anywhere in the U.S. I traveled to. Anywhere he went in the U.S. I traveled to. I went to his house to learn,
Yeah.
spent weekends in cities
Yeah.
to learn, and I was like, education is endless.
I think that's pretty cool.
So anything from baking to recipe development to business management to outsourcing to opening a storefront,
Yeah.
they laid the blueprint for me.
Gotcha.
And they also wrote the forwards in my books.
Okay. So tell me about your mentors and anybody that you followed that helped guide you on your journey as an entrepreneur and as a baker.
Well, there's two that I follow specifically, and that's Portia Kimball and Jeremy Jones, Your Cake Diva and Cake King.
Shout out Portia and Jeremy. We see you.
Yeah, they hate when I say it, but I'm like, they literally taught me everything I know.
That's cool.
Cake retreats, classes, whatever, like from pricing to baking, recipe development,
Okay.
everything.
So they were
Everything
your
I
Jedi
needed.
masters.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
If it was a question I needed answer, I'm like, ring, 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 ring. I'm going, I'm coming, what I need to buy, where I need to go, what I need to do.
Did they ever tell you bothered them?
No.
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 Okay. As long as you didn't bother them, you're good to go. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so now let's talk about this. Do you think dessert is an emotional thing? And if so, what dish makes you I'll say it this way. What dish carries a lot of meaning for you? First question, do you think dessert is an emotional thing?
Well, I always have a saying. I'm like, the more stressed I am, the better it is. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I'm like, if I'm angry
You're talking about the
or
dessert
upset,
is better, not being
I
stressed.
tend to make it better when I'm under pressure or upset about something.
Okay. Okay.
For some reason, it's a stress reliever for me.
Okay, so that's the baking side and just creating the desserts.
Yeah.
So do you think like people that they say, okay, well, I need a tub of ice cream because I'm depressed or something. Is that a real thing? Do you believe that's a real thing? Like if somebody has to eat dessert because they're depressed?
Probably.
To
Sugar
feel
makes
better?
you happy.
I think so. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
I think it's a drug. I think sugar is a drug. But this ain't an attack on sugar in the sugar industry. But hey, I think so. So what dish would you say, if it's a dessert or a dish, carries a lot of meaning to you?
What would it be? I would say anything red velvet. Because that's the one thing I see across the board that people struggle with.
Okay.
And you got the people that make it well and the people that can't make it at all. You got the people that love it and the people that hate it.
Yeah.
And the people that hate it had it from the people that didn't know how to make it.
So does red velvet come from chocolate?
There's cocoa powder in it, but it is not a chocolate cake.
I was trying to figure it out for the life of me.
It is not a chocolate cake. I will fist fight
Okay.
over that.
So do you prefer red velvet over like a German chocolate cake?
Yes.
German chocolate is that deal though.
Yeah. Coconut.
I do like coconut.
I was actually raised on German chocolate cake and hummingbird.
Yeah,
Those were the two cakes for
Yeah.
the holidays, and I was like, we can't have just vanilla,
Yeah.
lady. But yeah, she only picked those two, so I kind of stay away from them now.
Gotcha.
So
So Tasha, what keeps you inspired and keeps you from, like when you're stuck, what keeps you inspired and pushes you and compels you to continue cooking or creating delicious desserts?
Well, I know it's a few people that I inspire. So when they give me feedback or say, hey, I made this from your recipe, or I need your help with this, that kind of makes me like, oh. Because I quit every Friday. Every Friday I quit. And it's always somebody that'll come back and say, I need this, or I made this and thought of you. I saw this and thought of you. So it's usually the people.
That's awesome. I think people is a major factor for a lot of people. A lot of entrepreneurs, I say it that way. It's the impact that they have on people, the thing that fulfills their why. But why for me is a couple of things. It's what hurts you, what helps you, and what hinders you. The moment you decide and define what those things are, as far as what your why is, nobody can stop you. Because now you know what impacts you, no matter what it is, good or bad. You can still fight through it. You know what it is, and push past it or push through it.
Yep.
So that's good to go. I'm glad that you have mentorship and you sought that. As an entrepreneur, I have, again, had pride with that. And there are times where I have my moments where it's like, you know what, Chester, you actually need to stop and smell the roses, let's call it that. And you need to humble yourself, and you need to find somebody to follow. It could be in the shadows. It could be somewhere else. But being an entrepreneur, I've had prideful moments where I've had to stop and say, you know what, Chester, you do need that mentorship. So whether I'm looking at, from the stands, or whether I'm in the game, so to speak, just kind of watching that person or those people, that's how I do that. And I get motivated that way. But there's sometimes we just gotta, again, humble yourself and say, you know what, bite the bullet. I need to follow this person, and let that person know that, hey, whatever you have, teach me.
Yeah.
It teach me the Jedi way.
Well,
right?
surprisingly, in the baking industry, there is a lot of people that will not teach you. I guess because they feel like, oh, she's going to steal my thunder.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I was like, well, I make sure when I get to a level where I can mentor people, or people do look up to me, I'm sharing, because you get farther teaching people your craft.
Yeah.
It's people that are like, what? I reached out to a few people to work in their bakeries to get commercial kitchen experience. I'm like, I'll stay in the back. I don't need access to your recipes. I literally just want to decorate so I can work on my speed and timing and everything. And they like, no. No.
That's crazy, because something that drives me on that side is the fact that I learned a long time ago. They say, Chester, you get what you want by helping enough people get what they want. And I call it a little bit selfish when you think that way, but if that's selfish, where I want to help people and help enough people, and by default I'll get what I want in some form or fashion, I'm all for that. Because in the process, whether I'm selfish or not, I've helped so many people accomplish what they were looking to do even before I got what I wanted. So I think there's a trade-off. I do live in that transactional world where, hey, it's not a tit for tat, but it's, hey, I do expect something if I'm doing X, Y, Z. It doesn't have to be right now. And it goes beyond that. It goes back into faith and spiritual realm that, we're not discussing today. But, I do feel that there is a transaction there. Like, what's in it for me? Everybody plays that We FM radio. Yeah. WIIFM. We FM. If you don't know it, you play that radio station too. We all listen to it and subscribe. Yeah. So we were talking earlier, and you told me something when we were talking about some kind of brownie. Tell me about this Dubai brownie, man. I've been hearing about it, so I just wanted.
Well,
I want you to tell me.
That's the internet craze. Okay. I don't even know where it came from, but it was a chocolate bar that everybody's making or remaking.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so since I don't really care about candy bars, let's turn it into something else. And I see a few people doing the brownies, so I was like, okay, that's cute. But I'm gonna flip it on his head. Let's change the flavor of the brownie.
So how'd you feel? Okay, you changed the flavor. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's a chocolate brownie. What else? So I was like, let's try it. Let's try the kataffi and the pistachio cream mixture over a red velvet brownie, or over a white chocolate brownie with some chocolate and white chocolate ganache and the chopped pistachios, and see how that works. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay,
good deal. Well, I look forward to trying that.
So I even gave it a cute name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have to tell us that name someday. Okay. But so I'll tell you this personal experience. A family member of mine, I think, tried to make a brownie, and I was like, "Where'd this come from?" It was like, oh, I seen this brownie on TikTok, and I'm like, but they didn't hit that brownie the same way. And I was like, it was a little gooey on the inside. I was like, is this how it's supposed to be made? You know, but I don't normally eat sweets, but I make exceptions from time to time. So.
Oh, okay.
But the Dubai brownie. So is it good? Is your brownie good, or is it overall a good brownie? Have you made it like the regular way and then made it a different way?
Well, no, actually today we'll be trying it
Ah,
for the first time.
Okay.
Because I know the filling is a pistachio cream, of course, like a pistachio sweet cream.
Okay.
And butter and something called katafi, which is roasted shredded phyllo dough.
Phyllo dough.
So it's a sweet dough with a crisp that they
Okay.
shred.
I got you. Okay.
And that's the topping or the filling to the brownie. And of course, it's topped with ganache.
Okay.
So I was like, we're going to find out
Yeah.
what all the hype is about.
So did you ever have a dessert that flopped and taught you that, and what lesson did you learn from that dessert flopping? Like it just didn't go well. Like you tried it, like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, you know what I keep trying to make and I can't do it?
What's that?
Macaroons. The cookies?
Yeah,
the
I
little
see those
almond.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I make them and they always overcook crunchy. They crack. I was like, we'll just buy them.
Yeah.
We'll just buy them. Yeah.
I get it. I mean, sometimes that's how it has to be.
Because I was like, I'll try something 5 times after that.
But wait a minute, you are the Dessert Davinci, the Dessert Davinci, and you're telling me that you can't make a macaroon.
No,
She can't make a macaroon.
I cannot.
Is she really the Dessert Davinci?
Is
Is she?
Is that a challenge?
Challenge, if you accept it.
I tried for a competition called the Great Southern Bake Off.
Okay.
And I did a sweet potato macaroon with a praline filling.
Okay.
3 of them didn't come out cracked. Those were the 3 I used. I placed second in that competition.
Okay, so it was good.
Yeah. I used the pretty ones that didn't crack.
You just failed.
But in
at
the
other
judges'
ones.
comments, they were like, you overbaked this cookie, but the flavor is what
Is
won.
what-
The creativity and the flavor is what won them over.
So what would have made it first place? Did they tell you that?
Probably if I baked it the correct way.
I don't know the
I
way to
don't
make a
know.
macaroon, but
It's supposed to be chewy.
I know you'll keep trying to do
chewy
it.
with a crisp. You don't supposed to bite it and it just turns into a powdery. It was bad.
I don't think I've ever had a macaroon, so I wouldn't even know.
It was bad. It's supposed to be a chewy almond cookie
Yeah. Okay.
with a smooth top.
Well, I'm gonna take your word for it.
So yeah.
I've never tried a macaroon, and I may have to try one, and then you may have to make one and let us try one.
Season 2.
Okay. Okay. We look forward to that. So, how do you come up with new recipes that kind of elevate your game? How do you do that?
I call it channeling my inner fat girl. What I do, she's 400 pounds.
Ooh,
And
not 400. Why you gotta be 400 pounds?
because she got to be heavy set and ready.
So I guess.
Yeah. And
Okay.
she just keep gaining all the ideas that she got just piling up and building up inside
Okay.
her.
Is
So she
that why
just
she's
keep getting
getting
bigger.
fat?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
now. I get
And then I do
get
what I call Southern swag. I like to take 2 of my favorite desserts that are uncommon and put them together. And be like,
bad.
let's
You
see
call that a little
how that would
Southern
type.
swag.
Yeah.
A little Southern swag. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Because one thing that were popular that always sells out when I do it is red velvet banana pudding.
Red velvet. There it is again.
Yeah, the
Message.
red velvet raven is what I call me.
Red velvet. You're the red velvet raven.
Yes,
But you the Dessert Davinci.
yes, that's a subsidiary.
So okay.
Yeah,
So I thought you had like one of those multiple identity issues or something, like you schizophrenic.
that was just one area that I seen a lot of people
No,
struggle
not
with.
to those people that are struggling with that. Don't come from me.
Yeah, that's one of the areas that I struggled with. I was like, we're gonna perfect this whole red velvet thing
Yeah.
enough to a point where we can brand it and teach it. And I want to be make each type of dessert in that flavor.
Okay. So and it might be red velvet, but what flavor combo do you swear by?
Flavor combo.
Yeah. You just said like banana and red velvet, which I've never
Yeah,
heard
because
those
the
two
chocolate
together.
accents in the red velvet actually heightens the banana.
Sounds good.
It's rich.
That sounds really good.
Real rich.
Yeah.
But it's a good combination.
Okay.
It's not my first choice.
Okay.
It's a little too rich for me. My first choice is lemon and blueberry.
Lemon and blueberry.
Yes.
I think I like those. I like those flavors. I've had a cake or two that have tasted like had some blueberry in it with some lemon zest and a little bit of lemon
Yeah, that
flavor.
combination will win me every time.
Okay. So what's been your favorite event or environment to create desserts, like for weddings and different occasions like that?
Well, weddings are stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely not that. It's actually an event we do called Nosh.
Nosh.
Yeah, it's a culinary showcase from Black Restaurant Week.
Okay.
It's
Where's that held at?
it's actually nationwide. They travel. The three creators travel from each region. They have about 12 regions in the U.S. that they separate, and they travel and highlight all Black and brown chefs.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, and they do a culinary showcase at State Farm Arena every year.
And that's here, like, so it's hosted
Yes,
here.
it usually comes
okay,
here
you said
in
it's
August.
regional, so it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
They
cool.
spend a week, usually a week and a half in each region, highlighting the foods from the chefs of color.
Okay.
And
Do they
when
bring everybody together at one point in a different city or something, or like is it that kind of competition, or is it just highlighting the chefs
well, it's
in that
optional.
area? Okay.
Yeah, they run promotions and they promote every chef. So for awareness, so you'll know who's in your city and who to support. And then they have events at certain restaurants that bring more business to them. They offer scholarships, grants, and the culinary showcase, actually they give out money and prizes
Gotcha.
and everything. And
So-
I've won that 4 times.
Are you
So
bragging, or are you just making a statement?
I'm a judge now. So
Ooh.
don't come up in there
Ooh,
with that bad red velvet.
because that's your thing.
I will be hard on you.
So,
So-
if you weren't a pastry chef, what would you be doing right now?
An accountant.
Not for me.
Yeah. I mean, that was the degree. That wasn't the dream.
Right.
The dream was choreographer, but accounting pays the bill. Would have paid the bill.
I understand. So, me and accounting, we didn't get along. The first moment I learned about GAAP, and I'm probably talking about this again because it's traumatic for me. And when I learned GAAP and credits and debits and how they were actually exact opposite of what they really were, I spent like a whole month just trying to get that wrapped around my head. Like, I don't get it. How do I put this in a T-square? How do I debit this account and credit this one? Which is actually taking money from this account when I credit it, and debiting actually adds money to an account. I had to learn that. It took me 2 times to learn
It was
what
great.
a credit and debit was.
I had 2 professors. One of my professors was actually hearing impaired, and she taught me how to use all the tools as far as calculators and how to compute the formulas.
Okay.
And the second professor was a soccer referee.
Okay.
That was his main, like his second job or his pastime. And just the way he taught, he used all kind of sports references to teach it. And for some reason, it made it so easy.
Oh, man.
So without them 2, it wouldn't happen.
I get it. Cool. So have you ever seen someone whole mood change after they bit into one of your desserts?
Yes.
What was it like? What was that
I got
experience? How did you feel?
proposals. Somebody asked to hug and kiss me. I'm like,
Lord
no. Sorry.
Lord in the morning.
Credit or
as they
debit?
say. Yeah. You got to pay that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you like me. I know you love this food. It has a lot of love in it.
They
things
like
like
me
that.
more. Swipe.
You know you're tripping. I brought you on here to eat.
Oh.
You're going to eat that steak. You're not going to disrespect our movie chef.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Speaking of chefs, have you ever booked a chef before?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every event, I don't cook.
I understand. What is that at home? Have you had an in-home experience, or was it more so just like?
I use them more so for holidays
Okay.
and the kids' birthday parties.
Okay. And what has
Well,
your experience been with that?
Great.
Understood.
Yeah. The less I have to do, the better.
Do you ever give them like a judging eye when you kind of like, I know I can make that. I can make what they made. You look at the food like, oh,
Nope.
I can do that better.
Nope.
No.
Don't want to.
No, I get that. You let them perform their craft and
As long
do
as
their
they don't
thing.
step in my lane.
So if they did say I brung y'all some creme brulee
I'm like,
and some special, what you gonna do at that point?
creaming in the trash.
Oh yeah. Why you gonna throw your food in the trash?
I try it.
And then you're gonna give them like.
I got a lot of bakers I enjoy. It just the chefs I've worked with, I've never seen them make dessert. Maybe one.
Okay. So when you book a chef at home or to come for like holidays and things, as you mentioned, what is that price tag for something like that?
Oh, usually about, depending on what you get. They usually have packages that run about $500.
Okay.
But it covers everything, including drinks.
Wow.
Yeah. Beverages, tea, and lemonade.
You know you gotta tell me who that is later. Anyway, we're gonna keep that. Go ahead, $500 to feed everybody?
Yeah. I don't know, it might have been a free and discount, but no.
Okay, I'm pretty
It was
sure
posted,
that was
so it was to the public. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you've had this journey into entrepreneurship away from accounting, right? You brought your family along with you, and everything that you've done, you've been a judge, you've done all these things, and now you get down to the point where you have these recipes, and you done kicked out a book. Let's talk about that book, man. Tell me more about this thing, right? It's sitting back here, but I want them to see that. The Dessert Davinci.
Well, that's a beginner's guide. That's what I call it.
Okay.
A beginner's guide to creating edible works of art.
Okay.
So it's really it could be for
like that.
advanced, but beginners, it's so simple. I made the recipe so simple to where you can read them, follow them. It's not that many.
Okay.
A few of the cookie recipes do kind of do a lot. Because, I mean, a cookie is complicated. But
Gotcha.
it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's divided into 5 sections. It's pound cakes, cheesecakes, cookies, bars, other yummy stuff.
Okay. Like
puddings, cobblers, and then there's a sauce section.
So is it like a guidebook or is it truly like a recipe book? Because the way you're sounding, I feel like I can go in here and I can find something to cook. Because I'm not well versed in desserts at all.
You can. There's a shopping guide. It tells you everything you need. There's a link to my Amazon store where you can get all the supplies that I use.
Okay.
Grocery list. And it's a bonus recipe. It's the recipe that won us our first $10,000 on the TV show. The $10,000 cake.
You can tell me that one because I want to win $10,000.
That's the $10,000 cake.
$10,000 recipe.
Yes, that is a white chocolate cake with the blueberry.
Don't tell nobody, man. You want to tell me the recipe?
Oh, it's in the book. Everybody got it.
Okay, so what they got to do is buy this book.
Yes.
In order to get the recipe.
To make the $10,000 cake.
There you have it. All right. Well, what if somebody wanted to like personally wanted you to be their Jedi master and teach them how to bake or anything like that? How can they get in contact with you?
You can call or text the website, however you want to reach out.
Okay, what's the website? Because we don't know.
Oh, it's www.sugarhighgirl.com.
Okay.
And we do one-on-one classes. We do group classes.
Sugar High like HIGH or just like how's that like
Sugar
High Girl?
Sugar High Girl. HI.
Okay. Cool beans. And how can they find you like just to follow you and just see your journey and see what you got going on? How can they follow you on like social media?
Same on Instagram is Sugar High Girl.
Okay.
And on Facebook, which is locked. They hacked it, so I don't have access to it. But it's Sugar High Sweet Eats and Treats. And you'll just see some of the old things. Okay,
so they can reminisce with you.
Yeah.
Y'all maybe you can go live on social media one day. Say, I just want to show y'all my old page. Y'all see this is a dessert I made. Is a $10,000 cake on there?
No.
No? Okay, well they missed that.
Yeah.
So they still got to buy this book.
Right? Yes.
How much does it retail for right now? If you don't mind sharing the cost.
$30.
$30. I think that's pretty good value for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks good. You got the person on. Y'all don't see this on the back. She looks serious right here. So this is the person that you actually, if you want her to be your mentor, this is the actual person that you're gonna get. Her in that face, not this one. It's like, hey, nice to meet you. Buy my book. Now let's get to work.
Up. That's when you're getting on my nerves.
Outstanding. Well, I will say, you know what? It has been a pleasure to have you here, for sure. What would you say, though, before you leave? I need a parting word. And this parting word, you have to put a bunch of food in your mouth. And you have to give your parting word to all the other bakers out there who think they're coming for you. Yeah, so go ahead, load up, and take a bite. And tell all
one word?
Nah, tell them what you got to say. Your departing words to other bakers that want to come after you. in your spot as the Dessert Davinci.
Stuff.
We gonna get them today. Oh, I need a bigger bite than that. Yeah, get one of the tomatoes.
Vegetables.
Yeah, vegetable. I like that. That's how you break it down. That's how you talk to read and
Okay.
write.
What's the word? The word's 2 words. See me.
She said, see her. So all you bakers out there that think y'all coming for this one right here, think again. She's also on the MobiChef platform. So if you do want to book a wedding caterer or a pastry chef, or if you think that you can compete with Tasha Mack, the Dessert Davinci, find her and others at MobiChefOfficial.com. Tasha, it's been a pleasure. But unfortunately, your time on the MobiChef Mukbang podcast is up.
All right.
And you have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And we're out.